start here just momentarily. We'll let Coach with an opening statement, then we'll start off with Jeremy and just go down the line. So, Coach, when you're ready, it's all yours.
Thanks, Ken. Appreciate. The main thing I told our guys, it was the Monday Night Football team, but this was still practice 13. I really wanted to see a continuation of what I've seen here, really in the last, I would say, 10 to 12 days, just the way these guys have gone about their business. A little bit of adverse weather out there tonight, which I think our guys embraced. Offensively, I like the fact that, I wrote some things down before the game. What would I like to see today? And I would take care of the football, make good decisions, have good ball security. I really wanted to see how we caught it in these windy conditions with the ball, and also just a little brisk temperature out there. Thought those things that were accomplished, played relatively penalty free. Really on both sides, had a couple DPIs. Defensively, I wanted to see how we tackled, especially in open space, and we had some opportunities to do that. We were really thin at safety. Had a couple guys get eliminated today just prior to the game. So there was some concerns just of depth of safety, but I thought the guys that played did well. Defensively, we, managed the game, talked about certain scenarios. We talked about situational football. I heard all of our defensive guys talking about that. So a lot of positive. I thought our kicking game, James McCourt really just missed the 2 longer field goals, but he's been solid for us all spring, and Caleb Griffin as well, double dipping at wide receiver, and kicker have been great all spring. So overall, we got out of this healthy and got 2 more good practices in front of us this week. I couldn't be more pleased. With that, open up for questions.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Oh, sorry. I thought Bob had it. Bret, what have you seen from Brandon Peters? Obviously tonight seemed to play pretty well, but is this what you've seen all spring, or what did you see from him tonight?
Yeah, Jeremy, I think, BP's got exceptional arm talent. He's a very, very accurate guy with the ball. He's been able to show that repeatedly now through 13 practices. There's definitely parts of the game where you just got to keep pushing at him. But tonight I thought he took care of the ball, had good ball placement. I thought our tight ends caught the ball really well. Luke Ford has continued to be impressive, and DJ during the course of the last a couple of weeks as well. I thought our wide receivers, Donnie Navarro, is truly, I think, going to be a pretty good player and has excelled really well in this system. But Kamari Thompson, you saw a couple guys make some big time catches, so that was positive. And I think BP is learning how to manage the game a little bit more effectively now in our than he was in week 1.
And we saw Luke Ford get targeted a lot. It's more when we've seen him catch the ball since he's been here. How has he progressed this spring, and what does he add to your offense?
I appreciate Luke's effort. I think he's, just in this short time I've been around him, I've really seen his maturity level, just in everything that he's doing, just take a big step forward. Really like his demeanor, his work ethic. He's still going to have the big personality and do certain things, but I think he's concentrating on what's important now, which is he's taking care of his academic world and concentrating on being a good football player. And what that means is, you show up every day, you do your diligent work, you put in the time, and you get rewarded for it. So he's really bought in.
Thanks, Bret.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Robert.
Oh, me or Robert?
Bob, go ahead. Go ahead, Bob.
Sorry. Coach, would you like to name a starting quarterback now, or you want to wait for the fall or later?
We're not really making any decisions. We're not done spring ball yet, but, obviously Brandon has continued to be impressive. He's been a pretty consistent guy. He had a little dip in week 2, one scrimmage where we didn't carry the ball the way we wanted, but I think he really took some coaching. I think him and Tony have been able to communicate very, very well. Isaiah, I was very pleased with what he did when he came in, especially when he got behind that orange all line and do what he did. So we'll just continue to do what we've been doing, and after we get done with 15 practices, we'll take a deep breath, see where we're at.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Okay, we'll go to Robert Rosenthal, and then there's an iPhone. I don't know who's up there with their hand raised. You have to turn your camera on, but go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, Coach, with a game like this, is this what you want to see, where the first string kind of dominates the second string on both sides, or would you prefer to see, your second string guys making a few more plays?
I appreciate the question, Robert. Like I just felt our ones, being a new staff, we needed to be around and play next to each other. I wanted the right guard and right tackle to play next to each other. I wanted the center and the quarterback to play together. I wanted the running backs to kind of have a committee. We had really kind of just a number of tight ends and wide receivers set to rotate through there. But I like really how the guys efficiently operated on the orange unit. But I do think we rolled some guys in there in the second half that also showed the ability to maybe have some depth. But again, I thought the whole group overall, even though the twos weren't necessarily point productive, there were some flashes of some things, but they were going against our better unit. So you have to take everything kind of in perspective.
And then can you mention, I guess you talked about it this open, but two guys who haven't played much, and Carlos Sandy and Kamari Thompson both had pretty good games tonight. Can you talk about them?
Yeah, I think Carlos has been a guy that's really jumped out to me here as of late. I would say the last 2 weeks for him have been very productive. George McDonald is a very aggressive coach, gets a lot out of his guys, and Carlos has been very, very he's grown every practice. Gio's really done a nice job of bringing him along, and I think he's responded very, very well. And Kamari, other than putting the ball on the ground, I believe that was him in the fourth quarter there. But, he's a guy that, again, has been very diligent about his work. A lot of times when I'm leaving at night, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, he's still here in the building trying to watch film and get better with Coach McDonald. So I really think he's seeing the benefits of putting in hard work and the rewards coming out of it.
All right, Joey, you're up. Colin on deck.
Hey, Bret, for a lot of these fans, it had been since November 30th, 2019, since they've been in here. What did it feel like to have them in here? How did you guys kind of feed off of that?
Yeah, it was neat to, obviously to hear new voices in the stands and see the group out there. I obviously, I've only been in this stadium as a visitor. I've never been in as a home team coach. So it was a great reaction from the crowd and hopefully a great indicator of how much more we can grow. And I think this is the last week of season ticket renewal, so we're putting a big push out there that those that haven't got them to get them in now and be ready to support in the fall. I think you're going to have an exciting football team. I think you got a group of guys that are going to represent, the people of Illinois in the right way and a team that'll make you proud.
And in the trenches on both sides, what did you see from your ones today, offensively and defensively?
I thought in the run game on the offensive side, for sure, we were getting some good movement last scrimmage. Doing some things at the point of attack that created some holes. I thought our running backs were able to read off their first read and get to the next level a couple times. I thought on the defensive line, really it was tough for anything to get going. I think when you have Owen Carney and Isaiah Gay on the edges there and some big bodies inside, it's going to be tough to, move the ball hopefully against us. But I thought both sides of the ball, the line kind of set the tempo for the game.
Thanks, Bret.
Yes.
Okay, Colin, you're up.
Hey, Bret, you actually just mentioned what I was going to ask you about with Isaiah Gay as well as Owen, but Isaiah, it seems like his name was being called just all night and really harassing Isaiah Williams. What can you say about Isaiah Gay's play out there tonight?
Isaiah's been an intriguing guy, since we arrived here. Obviously, a guy that's kind of put together the right way, just a very impressive athlete, but he's a really good competitor, high motor, every practice. He's probably one of the guys that brings juice every day. Literally tonight he had class. I think he was dressed and ready, ankles taped in the Zoom with his class. And then as soon as that done, he bolted out here. We had two guys with the class conflicts, and he was one of them that I know he was itching to get out here. And once he showed up, it definitely picked up the intensity.
And it seemed like you obviously with BTM being out here, you want to play to that. The decision to have the sideline reporter throw the 2-point conversion. Take me through that moment. Yeah,
at least really just kind of try to do anything to have some fun. I think anytime you get in tight with a Big Ten network, it's a good thing. And I looked up her background, and she played college softball at Cornell, so got the 44 number, and she threw a spot. Tight, I don't know how it was a tight spiral, but it was a spiral, and DJ did a good job of pulling it in, just kind of trying to have a little fun with the guys as well.
Thanks, Bret.
All right, Gavin, you're up, and then we'll go to the hand raise. So go ahead, Gavin.
Hey, Bret, Chase Hayden had a really nice touchdown run. This is someone I haven't been able to see a lot of him. What do you think he's been doing to hit the ground running here so far?
Chase Hayden, you said? Yeah. Yeah, Chase, obviously the only guy on the team I've recruited twice, right? So, Chase is a very, I would say he's a consistent back, has been a guy that, has impressed me from obviously back in the high school days, plays with good pad level, understands it, sees where he's going. I really thought he'd be a good addition for us here, and he's kind of turned into that. I think the rotation of those three guys, and also Jakari as well, and then have some incoming players that can bring added depth. But Chase is probably a very good early down and third down capabilities. He's got good hands. Didn't really see that part here tonight, but should be a valuable player for us in our offense as well as special teams.
And then, it seems like everyone who meets Donnie Navarro has nothing but nice things to say about him. He got loose for a couple of big ones tonight. What have you seen from Donnie, and what kind of person do you see him as?
You know what? As a player, he's kind of very consistent guy. Catches the ball extremely well. He and I had a conversation. I maybe after that first or second week, like, listen, to get where he needs to be and where he dreams of being, he needs to be a consistent performer on the field for us. Catches the ball with his hands. I think he could literally play all three wide receiver positions. He'll be another good guy for us on special teams as well. But the thing I think that the quarterbacks like out of working with Donnie is he's just a very consistent route runner. Does a really good job at the top of the route, catches the ball, and then obviously today, made some athletic catches on the sidelines as well.
Thanks.
Yep.
All right, with the iPhone there with the hand raised, please identify yourself when you ask your question. You're on mute.
There we go. This is Tyler Repke of Repke Media.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, Coach, I would like to ask you, so of course, Brandon Peters, he really improved kind of in the practice, but not only him, but Chase Brown, running back as far as his quickness, you could definitely tell that. What would you say about how much he's improved, and what are you looking forward to seeing him and Brandon work together?
Well, Brandon, is obviously a guy that I think since we got here, he's kind of been a blessing for us. He just, he fits into the system, does a really good job of learning. I think he's a guy that has gotten more and more confidence with every practice. And then Chase Brown is kind of the same thing, but like you said, at a different position. He's a very gifted athlete. He understands how to run the football. You saw it today. I thought one of the more instinctive plays when he reversed the field and got a nice big gain off the ball getting shut off. He's done a nice job of hitting the ball up inside what we've asked him to do. So I think those two working together behind an offensive line could be a tandem that's tough to deal with.
Appreciate it, Coach. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
Hey, Matt Stevens, and then Gabby. Go ahead, Matt.
Brett, with your odd man front that you debuted tonight, I would think the nose tackle is going to be really important. So what do you like out of Calvin Avery, a guy that was highly recruited but really hasn't had a chance to really put a whole lot of snaps together?
Yeah, Calvin's an impressive athlete. For a big guy, he's got to, we got to continue to work with him. I'd like to, take a little bit off him, just weight wise, but he's very strong. And as a guy that athletically is light on his feet, does a lot of really, really good things naturally, has bought into what we're asking him to do defensively up front, just playing with his hands, kind of pressing the line of scrimmage, knocking it back. But he's an explosive player. I think he has another good summer. He had a 8-week window with Coach Tank, but this summer needs to be a big summer for him to get physically in a place where he can play more consistent football on more consistent snaps and be more productive for us.
And lastly, I just wanted to get your perspective on what you'd like to get objectively out of these last two practices after a spring game like this. Is this review of the game that you just played, or do you treat it like a 14th and a 15th practice?
Yeah, Matt, we'll kind of combo platter on Thursday. Tomorrow they have the entire day off. It's a big day for us, class registration. Wednesday we'll come in and put the film to bed. We'll make some slight corrections and jump into a little bit on Thursday. It's actually a helmets only day by NCAA rules. I got to get one more practice where it's helmets only, so it's not a lot of physicality to Thursday's practice. A little bit of install for what we're going to do on Saturday, and then Saturday will be a full padded practice that we'll really kind of truly use as our last measure to teach guys some drills and some things that we'll be able to do during the break when we're not around them. So it'll be good work days on both accounts.
Thanks, Brett. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Okay, Gabby, you're up, and then Alec. Go ahead, Gabby.
Hey, Brett. It seems like obviously having Chase Brown and Chase Hayden out there, some of the veteran backs, but you also had Reggie Love kind of getting a lot of carries, and he looked really good. I mean, what have you seen just from him as one of the younger backs that you actually utilized out there today?
Reggie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Reggie has been impressive to me. you know, I saw limited film on him and was around him in the spring and saw him work out, and I could realize just, you know, when you see running backs move in non-football drills, you want to, you know, see three things: just, you know, how quick their feet are, how well they can accelerate and decelerate, and then how well they can kind of play laterally by going forward at the same time. It's some unique movements that a running back does, and he really kind of displayed all of that during winter conditioning. And then when I saw him hit the field, he's a guy that I felt for our system could really do some great things once he learns how to read the certain reads that we're asking him to execute. So he's probably had the biggest jump. You know, Chase Brown is you know, got a lot of physical talent and played a lot last year, and Chase Hayden has played a lot in the places he's been. So Reggie had the biggest jump just playing football. And I tell you, Jakari Norwood comes in. He's a nice change of pace back. He didn't get to show much tonight just because he couldn't get much going behind that blue offensive line. But I think when you see him behind a better group up front, you'll see some production as well.
And then we obviously didn't see much from Marquez Beeson tonight. What have you just seen from him in terms of advancing in the wide receiver position?
Yeah, Gabby, he actually just got back from injury. He'd been out, I believe, the last 10 practices. So he literally just got cleared on Saturday's practice to some limited reps. So he was just easing back into it. But I would say we're very pleased with the early returns on that move to wide receiver. I know Gio's excited to get his hands on him, and he's a guy that these last two practices will be big practices for him.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Okay, then we'll wrap up with Alec. Go ahead, Alec.
Coach, I kind of wanted to follow up with Joey's question along with the fans. You had the band here and you had the dancers here as well, and the cheerleaders too. They weren't able to come last year either. How much does that just kind of add to the environment that you guys were able to put out here tonight?
Yeah, I think that's part of the feel, right? That's part of the deal. I think the crowd obviously reacted to him. I know I heard some interaction between that, but just the overall feel, right? To think you're at a college football game again, even though the numbers were very limited, I think the crowd out there was great, and just the vibe. And you also saw our players react to it. I think there was a buzz. I know they were talking about it in the locker room. So, you know, just overall, a very, very positive thing. We get to kick off the year with Nebraska in week 0, and we'll still wait and see the logistics and details of that. But, you know, to get one of the major slotted times in that opening weekend to debut Illinois football here at Memorial Stadium right here in Champaign, couldn't ask for anything better.
You mentioned the players there and them reacting to the fans. I mean, it was clear on social media this week they seemed pretty excited to get the fans out here. Was that something you encouraged them to do and kind of communicate with them? And what was it like to kind of see that on social media between your players and some of the fans?
We do. I think, you know, the great thing about coming here is I didn't know any of these guys walking in the room, but have been around them now for, you know, what, I guess about 4 months. And just to realize the personalities we have, we encourage those guys. We don't want cookie cutters, right? I don't want a bunch of the same guys doing the same thing. I want guys to express themselves, be around each other. We've had media training with our guys. Pat Pearson, a guy that, you know, that I brought with me from Oregon that is really locked into that market and been in your guys' world for a long time in the media, working with several different universities. But he's opened our eyes, and I think opened the guys' eyes, especially to the NIL phase that could be coming our way. Just about he's constantly working with, you know, how to get guys better handling their social media accounts, to explain to them the good and the bad, and to really build their brand. And I think it's catching on with our guys quite a bit. And I couldn't be more pleased with the way our guys have handled themselves social media wise, as well as on the football field.
Thanks, Coach. Have a good night.
Thank you.
All right, Coach. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
I appreciate it.
I know Brett's getting a couple players for us, so thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Chase Brown, first in line. You guys can start firing away.
What's up, Chase? Good to see you again. I'm curious what it was like for you. It's been since 2019 since you guys have had fans here who weren't family members. What was that like to be back in this atmosphere again?
Yeah. Well, to start off on that, I just want to say thank you to all the fans that came out tonight and people that watched it at home. You know, we appreciate you guys. I'm glad that we were able to have fans finally come to the game. And even though I think it was like 8,000, something like that, but it was a really cool experience looking around and even seeing familiar faces. But I love the atmosphere, and I'm sure it's only going to get better as the vaccine gets spread out more.
And for you guys to have that running back room, the three who were on the orange team got a lot of carries and a lot of yards. What do you, now that you've had a couple scrimmages, what's your take on how this running back room is shaping out?
Well, I mean, I know how good we are, and tonight was just another night to show that what we can do. And I'm excited that everybody played really well. I mean, Chase had a really good, I think it was a 30-yard touchdown, made something missed. And it just gets me pumped up for what's coming in the fall and the work that we're getting this summer. It's something to build on, and we can only get better from here.
Thanks, Chase. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Hey, Chase. With so much of the returners on the O-line coming back, what do you see? Like, it seemed like they were able to get such big holes for all three of you guys today back there. How important is that?
It's huge. I mean, those guys are killing it up front, and without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we did tonight or in any of the scrimmages at practice. And in the fall, like we need them, and what they're doing right now, they're doing a great job, opening up space for us, and we're making good decisions on their blocks. But like I said, they were killing it tonight, and opened up massive holes for us to run through. So with that experience up front, it just gives me extra confidence, and I'm ready to make sure that this is one of the best seasons for the team.
And then what is Chase Hayden like as a person?
Yeah, he's a quiet guy. He's funny though. As he gets more comfortable, he starts talking more. But he's pretty to himself. But we love him. He's like a brother to all of us. And when we're in the RB room, he's a completely different guy. He's opening up. But he's a quiet guy. But I love having him around.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Chase, whether it was the fans or the band or whatever it was for you, how much did tonight just feel normal?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the fans and the band, that was a big part of it, because you look back at last season and we had the band there, but it wasn't the same. Like, we had our friends and family, but having the opportunity, and for fans having the opportunity to come in and actually watch us play and watch the new offense go to work. I'm excited. It's really cool having people out there again. And yeah.
Thanks.
Hey, Chase, hope you're well. I'm just wondering, what's different about running in this offense? It seems like it's more a power run scheme than his own scheme. Like, what's different for you as a running back?
I mean, I get more time. I get to be patient. And that's a big part of it. Like I said last year, I needed to become a more patient runner, but with that offense, the line was moving so fast, and they did a hell of a job, but they were moving so fast. So sometimes you have to hit that as fast as they were blocking it. So here, it's slower, it allows us to take our time, and we're not rushing to the holes, and things are opening up. And I love this offense. I'm just grateful that I'm here. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, like, what's the identity you have to take on with this offense? Like, what do you think is the identity of this Tony Peterson offense?
Yeah, Coach Peterson always talks about the dirty four. So patience and putting your shoulder down and getting dirty. Just you gotta be tough, you gotta be decisive, you gotta play smart. That's a big part of being successful in this offense.
Cool. Thanks, Chase.
Thank you.
Hey, Chase, good to see you. As far as just you kind of talked about the atmosphere, but just being on this Monday night platform, you guys kind of have this all to yourselves and just showcasing maybe a different type of Illinois football. What does that mean to you and the guys in the locker room?
I mean, it's huge. To be the only team playing tonight, it's a great opportunity. And what it was really cool about it is that was the first look that people are going to get at what Illini football is this year. And I think Coach will probably say the same thing. We're nowhere near where we want to be, but when the fall comes around, I'm just excited about where we're going to be, not only mentally but physically. We're going to be so much better. And when we come back, after this little break here. I know the guys are going to be getting after it, and we're going to be ready to go. So, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, Chase, you know I have to ask, can you verify that you are not Sydney and you're not tricking us?
I thought we talked about this last time. I thought it was the facial hair that we're going to go off.
Okay, I'm going to trust it, but I know you guys are going to fake facial hair at some point. My main question is, I saw you, I know it's just a scrimmage and people are playing everywhere, but I saw you as a gunner on punt coverage here a few times and this and that. Is special teams something you would want to do? A coach has said he's going to have starters on special teams. Is that something you would enjoy doing, go out and tackle somebody?
Yeah. I mean, Wisconsin last year, the first game, I was a gunner. I was on kickoff. I was back returning kicks. I just want to do whatever I can to help the team. And if that's me running down as a gunner, running down on kickoff, making tackles, I'm going to do it. That's the whole thing. It's like I want to be as selfless as possible. I want to be able to make plays on all sides of the ball. I don't think I'll play on defense, but definitely offensively and special teams, I know I can help. So it's a cool opportunity.
Okay, thanks, Sydney.
I don't know how I can follow that one up, Chase, but I wanted to ask you a little about Coach B said that you guys have had a lot of conversations about media training and communicating with fans through social media. What have those been like, and how much did that kind of influence your guys', I guess, willingness to just kind of come out here and play with in front of the fans tonight?
Could you repeat the question? Sorry about that.
Yeah, no. So Coach B kind of talked about how you guys have done through a lot of media training with communicating with fans and how to behave on social media and all that kind of stuff. And I really saw that from you guys in the coming days of the game. What was it like to be able to communicate with fans directly on social media and then to come out and play in front of them?
Yeah, no, it was really cool. Coach B is huge on connecting with the media. It's a good way to bring more people out. And when you connect with the fans, I feel like it's a good opportunity to make them feel involved. Not only by being there, but us, whether it's a wave or saying ILL and they're saying I and I back. It's just cool. And on social media, they're helping us out with that too. They'll send us pictures and say, hey, like guys, like before we get out there, post a picture, get the fans pumped up to come to the game. It's really cool, and I like what they're doing because it gets us connected. It builds our social media profiles, and I mean that's going to be important coming up with the whole and my health thing. I don't know, but and it's really cool.
Thanks, Chase. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Chase, for somebody that might not understand the game in depthly, what's the biggest difference between getting a carry, when you're already downhill, maybe, out of an offense that's more under center than what you've been doing in the past, which is maybe getting flat-footed carries and out of the gun?
Yeah, well, when you're coming downhill like that, my shoulders are square to the line, and my vision opens up a lot more. Where before, I'll try and
right.
But last time I was completely turning my shoulders like this, and my head was like that. So sometimes it's hard to make cuts upfield when you're running sideways. Where here we're coming down square, and it just opens up more, and our shoulders aren't sideways, they're square. So I think is that like good? Feel?
Yeah, I just wanted to know how have you adapted to it as well? Just do you feel like it's a great thing for you and a great thing for the guys in your room?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, it took me a second to adjust because I'm so used to hitting it like as fast as I can. I'm like, boom, like I'm just trying to get there. But now it's just I get to be patient. I get to play with it a little bit more, and honestly, I feel really confident running the ball. And the O-line just plays a huge role in that because look what they did, a hell of a job.
Thanks, Chase.
Thank you.
All right, that's it. Thanks.
Thanks. Take care, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.
All right, we got another player coming here. All right, Owen, thanks for joining us. We'll go ahead and start with Joey and on down the line.
Hey, Owen,
Hey
good
guys,
to see you.
this evening.
Owen, good to see you. It's been since November 2019 that you guys have had people in the stands who are not your family members. What was it like to run back out there and can you kind of describe what that atmosphere meant to you and what it felt like?
First, I just like thank the whole Illini Nation just coming out and supporting us and getting us to the full capacity that we were allowed. And it was a rush when we ran out that tunnel. A feeling that I definitely missed. Spent some time, like you said, but yeah, it was great having them out there, like no other.
What do you make of what you guys were able to do up front defensively today? How do you evaluate kind of what kind of day you had?
Today, I feel like it was more mental than anything, as far as very few limits on the bust and just being very critical of ourselves, but yeah, I feel like we showed that we have the potential to be a great defense.
Thanks, Owen. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Hey, Owen, hope you're well, man. 8 tackles for loss between the 5 guys up front. What do you think this front in this defensive scheme, what can make it effective or what makes it effective?
Just how we communicate, how we're on the same page. On the flip side, how we are off the field. We're always almost together. We're a real close group, and we feel like we have great potential to do some special things this year.
Feels like you guys disguise a lot more pre-snap. Don't know who's coming, who's not. Like, how much does that change things for you guys? How much does that help?
It just puts some more stress on opposing offensive coordinators we have to face. But yeah, it's definitely fun just trying to see who's coming, who's not going, things like that.
Thanks, Al.
No problem.
Oh, this was the first chance a lot of Illini Nation got to see the team under new head coach Bret Bielema. What do you think you guys showed tonight to so many who hadn't seen you guys, before?
We showed definitely a new face. It's a kind of a new era of what the fans didn't see the last 5 years. And like I said before, great things to come. I'm not going to speak too much on it, but I have a good feeling about the season this coming fall.
Thanks.
No problem.
Owen, looking at the stats here for the Orange defense, looks like it allowed 42 yards on 35 plays. So would you say, the Orange defense met their goals tonight?
Yeah, I would say that's a successful day at the office for us. And when we check it out tomorrow, when we watch the film, I would think the busts were very limited if we did do that amount of scrimmage yards. That sounds great, But yeah, just everything was kind of clicking for us. We were talking across the board on the same page. So I think it was a successful spring game, in my opinion.
And then I wanted to ask how hard it is to have quarterbacks that can't be tackled. I saw you come free off the end a couple times. I'm sure the instinct is to go for the sack. Is it hard to pull up and just play touch football?
Definitely hard to pull up. But at the end of the day, when I am running them down, I see that they have more an orange eye or some familiar colors of mine. So just how to ease up on them, got to show my brother some love.
Thanks.
No problem.
Hey, Owen, kind of building off a question that was just asked, having this Monday night football stage all to yourself after a lot of teams, played spring games over the weekend. And I know you talked about what do you feel like you showed, but just how important was it to you and your teammates to have this stage and to show off in the way you did?
Very important. Like you said, there's a lot of games this past weekend that I checked out. And to my knowledge, I think that we were the only game on Monday. And then as far as Monday night as well, so Coach B and the rest of the guys did a great job putting that together, giving us a stage to show us off and highlighting some of our players and things of that sort. It was a great one for us. And we have 2 more practices left, so I'm just worried about finishing the spring up strong.
Thanks, Owen.
Thank you.
Hey, Owen. It looked like there was just a lot of energy on the team or from the team today on the field, just a lot of dancing, a lot of fun. Like, how's it been just coming together as a team under this new coaching staff? And where do you guys think you're really at in terms of just like togetherness for the team?
How you doing, first of all? So far, so good. where we are and where we want to be, we're steady making progress every day. I would think that we're making progress, and every day we get closer to each goal, 1% each day to where we want to be in the fall. You know, and I love the track that we're headed. I love the camaraderie that we have, and we're a brotherhood this year.
And then just with so many guys, you know, returning and being on the field with them again tonight, was it just like a sense of just like comfortableness, or what was it like just on the field for you guys today?
First, just being in Memorial Stadium, past 5 o'clock, you know, lights are on. It's a great feeling. Like I said, the atmosphere was definitely needed, in my opinion. It's been a minute since we had some fans there, but it was great. It's very hard to describe. I know I keep using that word, but I loved it out there.
Thanks, Owen.
No problem.
Oh, and I had one quick follow-up. You said you felt like you guys showed a new face today. What do you want that face to be?
Joey, something positive, you know. I want that face to be what we stand for, and that's family, and that's how we are, and that's how we operate on the field. That's how we treat each other in the locker room and outside of the locker room.
Thanks, Alan. Appreciate it.
No problem.
That a wrap for Owen? Thanks, it is. Hey, thank you, Owen. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
All right. Thanks, everyone.